Hey guys, welcome back. Today's a beautiful day. And you know when you just wake up in a good mood and you just want to be outside? Today has been that day for me. I don't know. I just woke up on the right side of the bed, I guess. And I'm just like, it's so nice and crisp outside. It's the perfect day to decorate. And that is what we are going to be doing today. For today's project, we are going to be working out on our deck. Now we do use our deck quite a bit, especially because we grill pretty much every day. Well, at least Sergey does, especially because our house is just at the tail end of our 3-year construction project. But anyways, so we do utilize our deck quite a bit, and I wanted to bring some of the holiday out here and really get this space ready for Christmas time. I have a bunch of stuff out, so it looks a little bit messy, but we're going to get everything tidied up. But this is our deck, and it's actually a pretty large deck. So like I said, we do use it pretty much every day we are out here in this space. So I always like to have this place nice and tidy, especially because we like to be outdoors. When the weather is really nice, we can open up our sliders, and we had these 16-foot sliding doors installed, and they are awesome. I don't know if you guys can see through, but you can probably see our new appliances. So you're gonna see like a lot of like construction stuff inside, but that's okay because we were going to deck everything out here today. So I had a vision for today, and it started out with our dried hydrangeas. Now I'm seeing hydrangeas everywhere in Christmas decor this year, which just like warms up my heart because I love taking elements from the garden and using it indoors or even outdoors and repurposing them for something really beautiful. Sorry, I'm distracted by a bird over here. But anyways, so I have some beautiful dried hydrangeas that we harvested from our garden, and then I made my own ornaments. Here are the basket of ornaments that I made, and let me tell you what, this was so much fun to do. They came out so beautiful. I did a few different colors that would kind of pick up the colors of hydrangeas and the ones that I think would match really well. So I saw these ornaments at Anthropologie, and they were beautiful, but they were like, what was it, $88 for a set of 9. And I thought, no ma'am, I am not paying that much money for ornaments that don't really capture that essence that I wanted. Now I will say I will splurge on some ornaments, yes, of course. But I thought, okay, if I can't get exactly what I want, why am I going to pay for something that I could probably just make myself? And so that's what I did. And you know, I'm a crafty gal. Give me a hot glue gun, some paint, some ornaments, and I'll make magic out of it. So these ornaments were actually super easy to make. I bought these boxes of ornaments. So they were the Ashland brand, and they're just clear. And they came in a pack of 6, and they were $4.99 for each one. And then I also got these 4 packs in case we wanted to add a little bit of white. But anyways, and then I bought these paint. I think they were a satin paint, acrylic paint, and they were $2 per tube. And then let's see, I think I got 2 of each. And then I did this dark burgundy, this beautiful green, this really beautiful sparkly brown, and then a coral, which I was going to mix to kind of get more of a smoky pink, but I also thought, well, let's just add something kind of bright and I don't know, something different. I will say if you're going to recreate these ornaments, I would use the ink paint. It is a little bit more, but it dries a lot quicker. This took a few days to dry, and we were like trying a fan. We tried putting it by one of our vents to have warm air blow in, and then they ended up melting because they got too hot. So we had to redo it again. So I kind of learned my lesson the hard way. But so if you do this, just think about the paint selection that you're going to make. Again, if you're going to go with the ones that I use, again, those little cheap, they're like $2 each. Just remember that they're going to take a few days to dry. So keep that in mind if you are going to make these yourself. So I think we'll start setting up the trees first. Now we just cut these together. I brought you guys on a little adventure. We went up to Mount Hood and we cut these trees ourselves. And I'm going to be using the controversial green urns in our garden. The ones that I asked you guys what you thought about, and like, I think it was kind of split. Half of you loved it, and then half of you absolutely hate them. But we are going to use them for Christmas. Here are the green urns. Now I've already cleared our fall containers out of these and repurposed some of the plants. So these are the ones that we're going to be using, and we're going to fork both sides of our sliding door. I also have a box of lights. Now I don't know, I think there's a few more boxes of lights, but I don't know if I really need to go grab all of them. Let me just put that down. These are my favorite lights of all time. I'm going to reserve these for the entryway because I think these just will add a lot more twinkle. And then the ones in the back, I'm okay using more of like the old school ones. like these. And I even thought about using some of these C9s. So let's test them out. I'm thinking we might go with this one only because the trees that we're going to be using are a little bit on the thinner side. So I don't know if the C9 would look funny on something like that. I kind of also want to create a big garland right above the window because I think that would be beautiful. I even thought about hanging like paper stars, but I feel like those would pick up too much moisture out here and they wouldn't last very long. But either way, I think the vision that we have is going to be beautiful. And of course, we are going to be using some of our dried hydrangeas. I might even pull some of the older ones. Maybe we'll use the older ones for the top over here. I think that could actually be super cute. All right, well, let's start. Let me just set you guys up and then we will start clearing this out. I have to bring in my indoor plants. They're like, get me out of here. It's freezing. So I have to move that little table. I'm wondering if I should keep that little table out here though. Maybe even like a wreath right there. Okay. The wheels are spinning. Let's just start with the trees first and then we will see where this takes us. Okay, some of these are burnt out. Okay, some of those lights look good, others don't. So, maybe we will go with the C9 because the small ones are, there's quite a few that are burnt out. Okay, so I think I might go with the C9. All right, I'm going to cut a few inches off of the tree just to make sure it can absorb a little bit of the moisture from the wet soil a little bit more so it stays fresher since it's been a couple of days since we cut these guys. We might need to cut a little bit more. I'll just leave them by the window so they don't get too much shock. Okay, I like the way that looks, but from a specific angle, it looks crooked because the trunk of the tree like does one of these. Let's set up the other one and see if we want to tuck this in closer to the house or do we like it where it is? Okay, I think that looks good. I just want to secure them in a little bit better. Or maybe we go lower, you guys. Actually, I think I just want to go lower just to really tuck them in to the corner. Yeah, let's do that. Oh yeah, that looks a lot better and it feels secure. I just used my power planter to make a straight hole. That way the trunk goes all the way down. All right, I think that looks so much better. These projects never go as planned, and I swear, I have like scratches and nicks and sap everywhere, but they look beautiful. So you can see that it just looks a little bit better tucked closer to the house, in my opinion, and that leaves this pathway nice and open without us bumping into the trees. I don't think I'll have to put any bricks down, but once I water them in, I'm gonna see how they feel. And then I still do want to tuck in a bunch of stuff like right underneath here. So this whole area I think will be nice and covered up with the little mini trees that we're going to be making. And same with this space over here. I do want to come in and just cut some of these branches because there seems to be a lot of like, I don't know, like a mesh of a situation right there. So let's actually quickly cut this. So I think like some of these branches, well, maybe I'll just like cut it there. Just want it to like tuck in. I have to keep reminding myself that these are natural trees. They're not going to be perfectly symmetrical. So my OCD brain can't get mad that these aren't perfectly even, because that was the look we were going for. And these came from nature, so they're not going to look alike. The OCD needs to stop. Okay, I think that looks better. Just a little haircut. I almost feel like they might not need lights, but that's silly, right? We need lights. Might need a little ladder. Hold on, this is just like a little rough situation to see if these are gonna look funny. That looks messy, but I think it's going to look good when it's lit up. I decided to go with the C9 just because some of the other ones, they're burnt out, and I don't know, I haven't talked to Sergey yet about them being easily replaced. So I just thought, let's just go with these. And I think that will actually look very beautiful and kind of sporadic, I hope. We'll see when we turn it on. So now I want to put the hydrangeas in, and I think what I'll do is break them up into smaller pieces like this, and then just tuck them into the tree. I don't think we'll need wire, but it may not be a bad idea to just take a little piece of paddle wire and then twist them on. I think that's going to be so cute. So now let me just do that to the entire tree. And I am loving how this is looking. Okay, now is this gonna be silly? Look.
So I feel like the pink should not go on these trees.
Really?
I think you gotta keep the the brown, the gold.
What about
Hold on,
white?
let's see how it looks when I turn on the light.
Okay.
Give me 1 second.
Okay. And I just want this to look very like effortless. Like we just woke up and we look like this. And I hope it's no. I don't know. I think the pink kind of just adds like a little pop of color. Now that I step back and I look at this, it needs more lights. So I'm gonna take these lights out. I can't make up my mind. Yeah, I think I'm gonna take these lights off and then do the smaller twinkly lights. Just because these are not picking up as much light as I want them to. So hold on, I'm gonna swap these out. Be right back. Okay. You guys, look at the difference. Okay, there's the pretty lights, okay? And then here are the sad lights. I mean, they're so cute, they are, but come on, look at that.
No, you don't even need ornaments anymore. This is why I think something just looked off of this tree.
Right.
It's like you see light, but it's not reflective. It's not causing a twinkle.
Twinkle, yeah.
And wow, what a huge difference.
I know.
So while you go do your thing, I'm going to
Okay.
adjust the lights and I'm going to take over here and then you'll We'll
Okay.
switch.
Okay, we're gonna tag team this. I want to show you guys how to make little trees. So to make these mini trees, I'm going to be using some really wet soil. You don't have to spend a lot of money on this. Just some cheap potting soil or garden soil, doesn't matter. And then I just got it really wet and really compact it down. So it's almost like a cement. It's not gonna go anywhere. You can use the fast setting cement for this, but I didn't want to mess with that. So now what we're going to do is you're going to have your stick here in the middle, and then you're going to grab, really you can do this with any evergreen. I'm going to be using some fir, and then we are going to be making little trees from these. And you guys, these are so fun. I have a whole vision for the entryway where we're going to have a ton of these. So excited. And then these are just the sticks that we picked up in the forest the other day when we were getting our tree. You'll also need some paddle wire, and I'm just going to leave the wire on the actual paddle. And then you're going to grab some bunches like this. And just wrap it around your stick. And you can go as low or as high as you want, depends where you want it to start. So I think like right here is good. And now we are just going to twist our paddle wire around it a few times to really secure it. This is so easy, you guys, and it's so cute for decor. And then you just want to make sure you tuck in that paddle wire so nothing is showing up. So I'm just going to leave it like this, and then continue adding branches as we go up. So you're just layering just like this. See? And it doesn't have to be perfect. Sergey's like, yes, it does. It doesn't. You want it to have a very like natural, effortless look. And when this is all done, I'm going to wrap them in burlap. I ran out of burlap, which is incredible because I had so much of it. But to hide and conceal these containers, we're going to use burlap. For today, I'm just going to pop them in a little container, so you can use little containers as well. Whatever you have on hand, really. Now, once you get to the top here, you can just either continue with like maybe a couple of pieces and just cover it like this. But what I'm going to do is just flip the branches this way, smaller pieces like this. And then tie those up onto the very tip. In fact, I think I'll go all the way up and give it a little curve. Just like that. How cute does this look? So I'm just cut that paddle wire and tuck it in really tightly. You can even hang like a little ornament on this. That took less than 10 minutes to do. Now, if you have a bunch of little containers like this, you can just pop in what you've created inside just like this. Look at how cute that looks. Or you could do the burlap, which I'll show you guys in our next video because we're going to be creating a ton of them for the back here and also for the entryway as part of our decoration that I have planned, which I'm very excited about. But isn't that so cute? Look at that. You can even make these and bring them indoors, maybe like in your kitchen island. You just want to make sure you spray it with maybe like Wilt Stop. That way it doesn't dry out because these are going to be outside. They're not going to dry out. But that literally took less than 10 minutes to do. Look at that. Isn't that so cute? All right, guys, I wanted to wait till evening to come show you how everything is looking. I'm obsessed. I feel like it came out so beautiful. I do have to show it to you during the daytime because it's also equally as beautiful. So here is tree one. Now I went ahead and added some bows. There are some bows that I made up that I do want to tuck in on the top here, but I think this dark burgundy ribbon that I've chosen just plays really well with the color of the ornaments and then also the hydrangeas. And you guys, the light, game changer. That was such a good call. I actually even might come in and add a little bit more hydrangeas, but I do want to show it to you guys during the daytime so you can see how beautiful it looks. Like, I'm obsessed. And then there is tree number 2 right here tucked in the corner. Sergey is going to come out and do a little bit of cable management because we don't want to see any of this business. And then I will be making, again, a lot more of those little trees and just kind of scatter them throughout. So it's just going to create such a dreamy look out here. I do also have to come in and add something over here. I'm thinking of putting in the wreath that we made together over here, and then doing a different one in the front. The decorations in the front is going to be drastically different. I can't wait for you to see what I have planned. But I think what I'm going to do is move that big wreath and hang out right over here. I don't know if I want it to like free flow, but I also don't want to drill in any holes into the siding. So let me ask Sergey what he thinks. I'm thinking, I don't even think a command hook would work actually because it's too heavy. Like, it's a 28-inch wreath. So we might just need to hang it instead of putting it on the wall. But either way, I think it's going to look beautiful. Now, of course, this corner also needs some of our attention. I'm going to be moving my eucalyptus out of here. I think I might bring in that little red table and put it right there and then deck it out with some little trees or something else, because Sergey and I do like to come out here if it's warmer during the morning time, and we can come out here and sit and kind of just talk about our day and what we're going to be doing that day. But in terms of the trees, I love the way they turned out. You do have to see it during the daytime. I just got distracted because our contractor that is finishing up our kitchen cabinets was here and we were finalizing colors for the painter that's coming. Anyways, so I got a little bit distracted before it got dark. But again, we will be back to wrap up this area. And I'm also thinking maybe of hanging something right along the sliding door. I don't know. I think a garland, but I think just up top. I don't want anything to drape down because you really won't get to enjoy it. But I think maybe up top might be fun. So I'm going to think about that. Let me know what you guys think, but I do think that would look really beautiful, just kind of like framing out this big window from the outside. The little trees, you guys, super fun. You can quickly do it. Just grab some branches from some of your trees out in your garden, or you can go foraging in your neighborhood. I mean, these are so fun to make, and just imagine a bunch of them around and you can make them in different sizes. And it's so easy. With the hydrangeas, I went ahead and did a mixture of the bigger sizes and then the smaller sizes. I think that also helps it not look too overwhelming. If I had a fuller tree, I would probably only go with like the bigger sizes. But if you have like a sparse tree like this, I like to just tuck in small pieces everywhere. And this is not the first time I've used hydrangeas in trees. I actually like to use them indoors too, in our indoor trees, especially if you have like a little pencil tree. I'll see if I can find some pictures of a tree that I put together using big leaf hydrangeas. It was so beautiful. I think it's such a fun element to add to your tree. Even if you have dried hydrangeas right now that are maybe like a little bit brown, I still think it would look so beautiful. Again, it just adds like another layer of texture, and amongst ornaments, it just looks so beautiful. Or you can even just keep it super simple, do hydrangeas and lights, or hydrangeas and bows and lights. You really can't go wrong. I think it's just fun to bring, again, things from your garden and use it on your tree, and you get like a second use out of them. I just wanted to quickly show you guys how the trees look when the lights inside are off. Just look at how beautiful. Oh, so magical. All right, guys, that will wrap it up for today's project. I am so pleased at how everything looks. The fact that I got to use some of our hydrangeas from our garden, like, makes me so happy. I'm just like in the best mood, and it could be because my family is all gonna be here soon, and it's like the holidays, Christmas is coming, so I'm just like in the biggest Christmas spirit ever. I'm excited to wrap up decorating the deck, and then also again the entryway It's going to be so magical. I can't wait for you to see that. Anyways, thank you guys so much again for hanging out with me today and getting our deck and our patio all decorated for Christmas time. I hope you enjoyed today's video, and I will see you guys in the next one. Bye-bye.